In 2013, Aquatic Wetline made its debut as an aquarium hobbyist podcast. It was hosted by Aqua Alex Cardinale, an aquarium hobbyist with a passion for tropical fish since the age of 12.
Aquatic Wetline was very successful because Aqua Alex shared his love and passion for fish keeping like only he could. You could hear the love of fish and passion for caring and educating about the fish in his voice. It attracted new hobbyists and even experienced hobbyists to tune in.
Aquatic Wetline went on hiatus for a couple of years. Now Aqua Alex has brought it back, this time right here on YouTube. Aqua Alex will host new episodes of Aquatic Wetline Fish Keeping Podcast, but it will be in video format and you may get to see some of Aqua Alex's personal fish.
Aqua Alex will discuss everything aquarium related from fresh to salt. What aquarium topic is in the aquarium for discussion tonight? Let's find out. Fish keepers, if you enjoy the show, please share the YouTube video URL on your social media. Now here is Aqua Alex.
It's Halloween season and the spooky aquatic monster fish are out and about. Aqua Alex and Aquatic Wetline proudly present Monster Fish Month. Aqua Alex will discuss various monster fish species that are available in the aquarium hobby. Monster fish that will be discussed this Halloween spooky season include gars, bikers, lungfish, and more, including fish that can cause harm. Aqua Alex is a monster himself and he loves monster fish, so this month it's his calling. Aquatic Wetline and Aqua Alex proudly present this Monster Fish Month special.
Good evening, tropical fish keepers. Welcome to Aquatic Wetline Monster Fish Month. I'm your host, South American fish keeper and monster fish hobbyist, Aqua Alex Cardinale. And that's right, I'm broadcasting right in front of my new 75-gallon aquarium. I moved all the fish from my 55-gallon community aquarium to the 75-gallon behind me. And this is going to be my display aquarium where I will host episodes of Aquatic Wetline. So welcome to the first episode of Monster Fish Month. October is Halloween. And Halloween is all about spookiness. It's all about scaredness and scary things. So, on Aquatic Wetline in October, we're going to talk about aquatic monsters and scary monster fish. And it kicks off right here, right now, on our first episode of Monster Fish Month. Today, I, Aqua Alex, I'm going to talk about gars. Gars are one of my favorite monster fish. Gars can grow anywhere from 3 to 6 feet in length. That is a really large predatory fish. Gars come from North America, Central America, and Cuba. So, like I said, October is a spooky monster season. aquatic monster fish come out on the prowl. And today we're going to talk about gars. Gars are a toothy fish that grow huge and live in North and Central America and Cuba. There are several different species of gars, and today we're going to talk about a majority of the gars that are out there. I'm going to talk about everything you need to know about gars. I'm going to talk about keeping gars in the home aquarium. I'm going to talk about the different species of gars, and I'm going to conclude the show by answering the question, are gars really dangerous to humans? All that right here, right now, on our first episode of Monster Fish Month 2022. So if you're watching this video live, feel free to share your thoughts on gars in the comments or post any questions you have on gars in the comments as well. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get this fun show started right now. And I'm going to start today's show by showing off some images of gars that I've kept over the years. I've been in the aquarium hobby since I was 12, and monster fish are my specialty. And I have kept numerous species of gars, mostly Florida Gars. I've had one alligator gar, and I've had a couple of spotted gars. My favorite gars would be the Florida spotted and alligator. So here are some images of gars that I have kept over the years. Really cool predatory fish. Here is a gar that I had in 2020 to 2021. Very beautiful Florida gar. I love the coloration that gars have. Here is another image of a Florida gar that I had. This is that same one that I had in 2020 and 2021. This was the period when the tank behind me was a monster tank, and I had red tail cat, tiger shovelnose, some pacu, and the gar in there. And here is that very same Florida gar that I kept when I had monster fish. Very, very cool gar. Really, really enjoy the gars that I have kept. Now, it's been about a year or so since I've had gars, and I'm really considering getting one for my 125-gallon aquarium because I love the way gars eat. Most gars will eat live foods like feeder fish and brine shrimp, but after a while, you can get them onto dead food like tilapia and raw market shrimp and earthworms. So those were images of some gars that I have kept to get our show started. I did have an image of two gars that my dad raised from juvenile stage. I'm not sure where that image went. Here it is. All right, and we upload it to my studio so I can show it to you. My dad raised two gars from 6 inches all the way to about 20 inches. And here is that image. These gars are about 13 to 14, maybe 15 inches in this picture. And this is my dad's 180. And he had these gars since they were young, and he raised them to be monsters. Very, very cool fish to watch grow up. Now, let's learn about these amazing fish, these amazing monster fish, the gars. And here is what to know about gars. I'm going to give you some awesome information on gars. Gars are members of the family Lepidopsidae. So I know I probably botched their scientific name, their genus of fish, where they come from. So I'm going to try again. Gars are members of the family Lepidopsidae. That's a little better, I guess. The next thing to know about Gars is that Gars are over 240 million years old. Gars are really prehistoric giant fish. Gars were around when dinosaurs were around. So that is very interesting. Gars comprise 7 living species of fish in 2 genera that inhabit freshwater, brackish, and occasionally marine waters of eastern North America, Central America, and Cuba in the Caribbean, though extinct members of the family were more widespread. Gars have elongated bodies that are heavily armored with ganoid scales and fronted by similarly elongated jaws filled with long, sharp teeth. I definitely would not want to be bitten by a gar because gars can definitely inflict a very painful bite. If you get bitten by a gar, you could probably lose a finger. Gars have sharp teeth just like piranhas. Now, all of the freshwater gars are relatively large fish, but the alligator gar is the largest of all gars. The alligator gar often grows to a length over 6.5 feet. That's right, the alligator gar can grow over 6.5 feet and weigh over 100 pounds. That is huge. And specimens of up to 9.8 feet in length have been reported. Wow, talk about a monster fish. An alligator gar is certainly a monster fish. Another cool thing to know about gars is that unusually their vascularized swim bladders can function as lungs, and most gars surface periodically to take a gulp of air. So they can breathe air, which is really, really cool. Now, gars tend to be slow moving fish, except when striking at their prey. They prefer the shallow and weeded areas of rivers, lakes, and bayous, often congregating in small groups. So gars like the slow moving waters of the rivers, lakes, and bayous that they swim in, and they're often found in small schools, which is pretty cool. Now, gars are ferocious predators, catching their prey in their needle-like teeth with a sideways strike of the head. And gars' teeth are so strong that they can kill a fish with one bite. They feed extensively on smaller fish and inverts such as crabs. Gars are found across much of the eastern portion of North America. Although gars are found primarily in freshwater habitats, several species enter brackish waters and a few are found in saltwater. Some gars travel from lakes and rivers through sewers to get to ponds. And that is some information you should know on the monster fish known as the gar. PA Fish and Tanks is in the house. Hey guys, how are you? Thank you so much for tuning in. Good evening. I hope you're having a great evening, and I hope you enjoy our show on Gars, our monster fish special on Gars. So thank you so much for tuning in. So now we're going to talk about keeping gars in aquariums. Now, gars have been a popular aquarium species for quite some time. A lot of fish stores, specialty fish stores, and monster fish stores supply gars, and people buy them because they're fascinating aquarium fish to keep. Gars are an interesting fish to feed. It is very cool to watch a gar eat. They will use their needle-like mouth and their razor-sharp teeth to capture prey, and fish keepers like myself often find that intriguing and interesting. However, fish keepers should note that gars do grow relatively large. Most gars can reach 3 feet, some will grow larger than 3 feet, and some, like the alligator gar, can easily reach 6 feet in length, provided if they have enough space. In lakes and rivers, they have enough space. But in the aquarium hobby, it is really hard to provide a large growing fish like that enough space in an aquarium unless it's a 1,000,000-gallon aquarium or a really, really huge aquarium. So if you want to keep gars, then I recommend going for the smaller species like the Florida Gar, the tropical gar, or the spotted gar. Even then, you would still need a really large aquarium. You're looking at maybe 1,000-gallon aquarium at the least. So gars really don't belong in the aquarium hobby, in my opinion, unless you have a large outdoor pond that you could put gars in. They are an interesting fish to watch eat, but in the aquarium hobby, there are equivalent fish that are very similar to gars that you can have. For example, from South America, there is a charasin that is known as the rocket gar. It is very similar to a true freshwater gar. There are barracuda that are very similar to gars. And then there are the spotted and striped gar characins that come from South America. All of those don't get in the feet range. Most of them will reach 8 to 12 inches, which is far more suitable for home aquariums than some of the other gars that we're going to talk about on today's show. However, if you do have a large aquarium in the 1,000-gallon range, gars are really easy to take care of in the aquarium hobby. They are very hardy, they are very forgiving, and they're a fish that are real easy to take care of. Basically, they can thrive in just about any water parameters because ammonia won't hurt them, nitrates won't hurt them, and they can breathe oxygen, which is really cool, and that is something that I like about gars. The only thing that is kind of picky about gars is that they can be hard to wean off of live foods. So they're going to constantly want to eat live fish and live inverts, but over time, you'll have success weaning them off of live and getting them to eat raw market shrimp, tilapia, bloodworms, and the like. You can also get them to eat earthworms and ghost shrimp. That is a great source of live food. I would recommend trying to stay away from feeder goldfish and rosy red minnows because they carry an enzyme that is toxic to most predatory fish. So if you were to keep gars in a home aquarium, I would say to have a large aquarium, like I said, 500 to 1,000 gallons, have superb filtration because these fish eat a lot and they produce a lot of waste, and be prepared to wait a while until they get off of live food for them to start eating comfortably. If you continue to provide live food, they will continue to eat it, but they can be weaned off of non-live foods as well. It just takes some time. And again, it depends on the individual gar species. For example, I've bought gars that ate non-live food right away, and then I've gotten gars that I've struggled getting off of live food, and it took months until they finally accepted non-live food. But the trick is starving them, and then once they've refused any non-dead food, then you could try earthworms, and once they start eating that, they'll start eating more. So gars are really easy to keep in the home aquarium, and they do great in outdoor ponds, but unless you live in Florida like me, winter hits and it gets freezing out there. But gars are a relatively hardy fish, and we'll talk about keeping gars in the home aquarium on a future episode of Aquatic Wetline. Today we're just talking about gars, the monster fish in general. In just a second, we're going to start talking about the different gar species. So PA Fish and Tank says that he is doing great. Awesome, glad to hear that. And Juan says, excellent info, Alex. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I hope you're enjoying our show so far. So let's start talking about some of the gar species. And we're going to start with the most popular of all gars, and that is the alligator gar, one of my all-time favorites and the true monster gar species. It's the largest of all gars because it gets massive and it kind of resembles an alligator, which is really, really cool. So the alligator gar can grow up to 10 feet long and weigh over 300 pounds. Its body and snout are wide and stocky, and it was named alligator gar because locals often mistook it for an alligator. Alligator gars can be found in Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, the Mississippi River, Ohio, the Missouri River, and the southern drainages into Mexico. Its habitat consists of lakes and bays with slow currents. The gars grow rapidly when young and continue to grow at a slower rate after reaching adulthood. They are deep green or yellow in color. Now, in Florida, it is illegal to keep alligator gars in the aquarium hobby, and I believe it is like that in many other states where alligator gars are a natural occurring fish. A lot of people respect and love the alligator gar here, myself included. But unfortunately, recreational fishing of the alligator gar became popular due to its massive size, and its meat is sold for food. And unfortunately, over 5 decades of overfishing have brought the alligator gar close to extinction, and man-made dams have contributed to this loss by restricting the gar's access to the floodplain areas in which it spawns. Some United States states have enacted laws to combat overfishing, and reintroduction programs are being carried out in some states, such as Illinois, where human activity has driven the gar to extinction. Before being released, each gar must meet a length requirement to ensure that it has the best chance of survival in the wild. Some states, such as Texas, restrict the number of gar that may be caught in a day, the season in which they may be caught, and the equipment anglers may use to catch them. Some states also impose a minimum length requirement to prevent gar from being caught at too early an age. Scientists have found that the alligator gar can help maintain ecosystem balance by eating invasive species such as the Asian carp, and their success in a particular area can show scientists that area may also make a suitable habitat for other migratory species. And that is the alligator gar. And the image that is on the screen is of an alligator gar. And in my opinion, it is one of the better looking of all the gars that come into the aquarium hobby. But it is the largest growing gar, and it is a true monster fish. but the alligator gar, certainly a cool gar. Well, when we talk about gorgeous looking gars, the next gar we're going to talk about is also a very good looking gar, and that is the tropical gar. And this one is a very rare gar. If you ever come across them, they're going to cost you a lot of money because they're very rare in the aquarium hobby, and that is the tropical gar. Look at the beautiful coloration of the tropical gar. That is very, very beautiful. So, the tropical gar is found in both Caribbean and Pacific slope drainage basins in Central America, from southern Mexico through Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua, and into Costa Rica. It is found in various habitats, from large lakes and rivers to sluggish tributaries, backwaters, and pools. And the tropical gar can survive in both fresh and brackish waters, but it shows a preference for large rivers and swamps with extensive associated floodplains. It does not tend to inhabit swiftly flowing environments. The tropical gar can grow to 40 to 50 inches in length, and it is a large gar species. It is very popular in the aquarium hobby among monster fish hobbyists, but like I said, it is a very rare species. So I personally feel the tropical gar thrives in the wild, and it should be left in the wild because it's a gorgeous fish. The next gar species we're going to talk about is known as the long-nosed gar. Kind of the kind of the I forgot the name of that character that has a long nose. Pinocchio. I think this gar should be known as the Pinocchio gar, but nonetheless, its scientific common name is long-nosed gar, and that's because it does have a long nose. So the long-nosed gar has a longer, narrower, more cylindrical body and can be distinguished from other species of gar by its snout, which is more than twice the length of the rest of its head. Now, the long-nosed gar can reach up to 6 feet and 8 inches in length and weigh up to 35 to 80 pounds. That's a big fish. Like the short-nosed gar, which we're going to talk about later on, it has only a single row of teeth. Unlike its relatives, the other gar species, the long-nosed gar enters brackish water from time to time. Females are larger and live longer than the male long-nosed gar. Females live 22 years and males live about half as long as female gars. There are spots on the head, dorsal, anal, and caudal fins. Depending on the water clarity, the long-nosed gar comes in two colors. In clear water, they're a dark, deep green color. In muddy waters, it's more brown in color. These types of gar are occasionally fished by locals and blamed for eating other fish in the rivers. The long-nosed gar has a large range of territory in North America into the Gulf of Mexico. They are located in Florida, Quebec, all Great Lakes except Lake Superior, Missouri, Mississippi, Texas, and northern Mexico. That is the long-nosed gar. And now we're going to talk about one of my favorite gars, and that is the gorgeous spotted gar, which is a very beautiful gar. So let's learn about the spotted gar, shall we? And as you can see, The image on the screen is a spotted gar, and it is a very beautiful gar. Now, the spotted gar is a smaller species of gar, measuring just under 4 feet long and weighing about 15 pounds on average. Like Florida gars, female spotted gars are typically larger than male spotted gars. The spotted gar has dark spots covering its head, body, and fins. Its body is compact and has a shorter snout. It prefers to live in clear, shallow water with a depth of 3 to 5 meters, and it surrounds itself in foliage. Its habitat ranges from the waters of Lake Michigan, the Lake Erie Basin, the Mississippi River system, and river drainages along the northern coast of the Gulf of Mexico, from the Nueces River in Texas east to the lower Appalachian River in Florida. It shares its habitat with the alligator gar, its main predator. These smaller gar live an average of 18 years. So the spotted gar live about 18 years, which is pretty good for a large monster fish. The spotted gar, one of my all-time favorite gars, and it's the one that I really enjoy keeping the most because it's beautiful to watch it transition from a juvenile into a adult. All right, so far we've talked about keeping gars in the home aquarium. We've talked about things to know about gars, and we've talked about alligator gars, tropical gars, long-nosed gars, and spotted gars. We're going to talk about short-nosed gars, Cuban gars, and Florida Gars coming up after our quick break. And we're also going to talk about, are gars dangerous to humans? But right now, we're going to go ahead and take our intermission, which is being brought to us by the supporters of Aquatic Wetline, Aquatic and Exotic, located in Stuart, Florida, an awesome South Florida fish shop providing aquarium hobbyists with quality freshwater and saltwater fish and supplies. And our second supporter is Little Egypt Aquarium Club, providing aquarium hobbyists with quality aquarium supplies. Don't forget, you can save 10% off your order by using coupon code ALEX. So we're going to head to our quick intermission, and when I come back, we're going to continue talking about gars on the first Monster Fish special of October 2022. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere, fish keepers.
Are you a tropical fish keeper living in South Florida? You need to check out Aquatic and Exotic in Stuart, Florida. Aquatic and Exotic is home to quality freshwater and saltwater tropical fish. You will find African cichlids, South and Central American cichlids, goldfish and koi, and exotic fish. We also supply aquarium supplies like filters and heaters, aquariums, and lights. We also have quality fish food brands. Aquatic and Exotic is open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sunday 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Questions? Give us a call at 772-781-4046. Stop on by and check us out. 1525 A.C.E. Lockhart Street, Stuart, Florida 34994.
Aqua Alex here, and I'm proud to partner with Little Egypt Aquarium Club. Little Egypt Aquarium Club was founded by my friend Jeremy Stellhorn. Little Egypt Aquarium Club provides aquarium hobbyists with quality aquarium supplies. You will find sponge filters, pleco caves, and so much more. Little Egypt Aquarium Club also has quality fish foods. You'll find things like Rapashi. Rapashi is a name brand fish food perfect for plecostomus, community fish, and even monster fish. You'll find medicated fish foods as well. Aqua Alex and Jeremy Stellhorn are teaming up to save you some money. If you use my discount code, which is Alex, you will get 10% off your order. So go to littleegyptaquariumclub.com right now, place an order, and use coupon code Alex, and you will save 10% on your order. Now back to the fish chat. Hey, fish keepers, get ready to have your tropical fish keeping questions answered. It's time to prepare for the October 2022 Fish Keepers Q&A hosted by me, Aqua Alex Cardinale. I, Aqua Alex Cardinale, will answer all of your freshwater and saltwater tropical fish questions. This month's edition of Ask Aqua Alex Live will be Halloween themed since it is October. The October 2022 Ask Aqua Alex Live will air live Tuesday, October 25th, 2022, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, right here on my YouTube channel, The Legendary Alex Cardinale. So, fish keepers, do you have fish keeping questions you want me to answer? Simply email your fish keeping questions to AlexGoYankeesCardinale19 at gmail.com, and I will answer all of your questions. You can email them in a text email, or you can film a video asking your questions, and I will answer them. Also, email me photos and videos of your aquarium fish and your aquariums to AlexGoYankeesCardinale19 at gmail.com. I will show off your aquariums and fish in the Fish Keepers Show Off. On top of answering your questions and showing off your fish and aquariums, I have some fun Halloween themed topics coming your way on the Fish Keepers Q&A. This month's topics will include my top 10 favorite monster fish. I'll also talk about fish that represent Halloween. I'll talk about why water changes are important and more. It all goes down live Tuesday, October 25th, 2022, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, right here on my YouTube channel, The Legendary Alex Cardinale. So get those fish keeping questions in right now, and I will answer them Tuesday, the 20th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. All right, welcome back to Aquatic Wetline Monster Fish Month Gars Special. Tonight, Aqua Alex, I am talking about Gars. So if you're just tuning in now, I've already talked about a couple of Gar species, and now I'm going to talk about a couple of more, and I'm going to answer the question, are Gars dangerous to humans? If you have any questions on Gars or you want to share your thoughts on Gars, feel free to post them in the comments. So let's get right back to our discussion. And right now we're going to talk about the short-nosed gar. And the short-nosed gar obviously has a shorter nose than the long-nosed gar. And here is an image of a short-nosed gar. Now, the short-nosed gar is found in the Mississippi River Basin. It's also found in Indiana, Wisconsin, Montana, Alabama, and Louisiana. It prefers to live in lakes, swamps, and calm pools. The short-nosed gar takes its name from its snout, which is shorter and broader than that of other gar species. Like the long-nosed gar, it has one row of teeth. The upper jaw is longer than the rest of its head. The short-nosed gar is deep green or brown in color, similar to the alligator gar. Depending on the clarity of water, spots can be present on the caudal, dorsal, and anal fins. The short-nosed gar has a lifespan of 20 years, and it reaches up to 5 pounds in weight, and it can grow to lengths of 24 to 35 inches, which is really cool. It consumes more inverts than any other gar, so it eats things like crayfish, shrimp, and snails, and their stomachs have also been found to contain higher Asian carp content than any other native North American fish. So the short-nosed gar is doing Americans and North American people a favor by eating the invasive Asian carp. So that is really, really cool. And I like that about the short-nosed gar. Really cool gar fish. But I have to admit, I don't think I've ever seen a short-nosed gar for sale in the aquarium hobby at any of the fish stores that I've gone to. Or maybe I have and I just didn't realize that it was a short-nosed gar. So now I'm going to talk about the Florida gar, which is a gar species that I have kept before, and it's my native gar because I live in Florida now. So let's learn about the amazing Florida gar, one of the most popular gar species that is kept in the home aquarium. And it's a really cool looking gar as well. So the Florida gar is a species of gar found in the United States of America from the Savannah River and Ocklawaha River watersheds of Georgia and throughout peninsular Florida. Now, in the Everglades, you'll find a ton of Florida gar. Also in the Everglades, you'll find alligator gar, long and short-nosed gar. But in the Everglades in Miami area, Florida gar are very prevalent. Florida gar can reach a length over 3 feet. The young juvenile Florida gar feed on zooplankton and insect larvae as well as small fish. Adult Florida gar mainly eat fish, shrimp, and crayfish. They're a medium growing gar reaching just about 3 feet, whereas other gars like the alligator gar get much bigger. Adult Florida gar are ambush predators. They stalk their prey and utilize a lateral lunge of their long heads in order to strike and catch their prey. These strikes are very short and fast, typically lasting for only 25 to 40 milliseconds in length. Upon catching their prey, the gar trash their head from side to side to manipulate the prey and injure the prey before repositioning it to swallow it head first. Adult Florida gar tend to feed on fish, shrimp, and crayfish, while young gar feed on zooplankton and insect larvae. The Florida gar is the most popular gar that is commonly kept in the home aquarium and the aquarium hobby. We've got one gar left to talk about, and this one is also a really popular gar in the aquarium hobby. It is also a very rare gar in the aquarium hobby, and it costs a fortune. But there is a YouTuber by the name of Miss Jinx, and I believe she had a tropical gar, and I believe she has a Cuban gar as well. So if you're wanting to see a Cuban gar kept by an aquarist, I recommend going to Miss Jinx's YouTube channel and seeing her gorgeous Cuban gar and her gorgeous tropical gar. if I was a millionaire and I can build a pond, I certainly would. And in that pond, I would have both tropical gars and Cuban gars because I think they're some of the more beautiful gars that are out there. So let's talk about the gorgeous Cuban gar, shall we? And here is an image of a Cuban gar that's feasting on some fish, and it's sharing a fish with a Florida gar. So the Cuban gar, like other species of gars, Cuban gar are top level predators in freshwater ecosystems. Adult Cuban gars feed on freshwater fish and birds. Unfortunately, young Cuban gar are prey to the introduced largemouth bass. As an animal with a high trophic level, the gar has lost much of its population due to overfishing and habitat loss. Attempts to restore natural fish populations using them in aquaculture are currently in progress, but these ideas have yet to reach implementation. Now, as the name suggests, Cuban gars come from Cuba. The Cuban gar, along with other species of gar, is also notable for its high tolerance of high ammonia and nitrate levels in water, its ability to breathe some atmospheric air in absence of sufficiently oxygenated water, and it is disease resistant. And Cuban gar can reach 3 feet in length. Another suitable gar for larger aquariums in the 400-gallon range and larger. So that is the very beautiful Cuban gar. And those are the most popular gar species that are out there. So the final topic for our first Monster Fish Month special. Are gars dangerous to humans? Gars have razor sharp teeth. And with those razor sharp teeth, they can do a lot of damage. But in reality, gars will not attack humans. They're not going to go out of their way to attack humans. The only time gars will pose a threat to a human being is when humans are going fishing for gars and you're fishing for a large alligator gar. That is the only time a gar will ever be dangerous to humans because the gar can then use its mouth to bite through the lure and it may mistakenly bite the hand of a fisherman. So the only time gars are dangerous to humans is the fishermen who go fishing for them. Now, for aquarium hobbyists, gars can be dangerous during feeding time if you happen to enjoy feeding your monster fish. If you happen to enjoy hand feeding your monster fish like I do, then that's when a gar can be dangerous to you because it may mistakenly bite your finger instead of the food. But no, gars are not going to go out of their way to purposely attack a human. They have no reason to do that. They're a very gorgeous monster fish, but they're still a monster. But they're not evil monsters that attack humans and other mammals. Their prey is smaller fish, inverts, and things like that. So gars are not dangerous to humans whatsoever. Well, I hope you enjoyed the first episode of Monster Fish Month here in October of 2022. I have several more coming your way since October is spooky season. And on spooky season, we talk about all things spooky here on Aquatic Wetline. On the next episode of Monster Fish Month, we're going to talk about the scary dragonfish, the scary dinosaur fish. Of course, I'm talking about the biker or Pleuropterus. So the next Monster Fish Month special next week will be on bikers. I will talk about the different types of bikers, what you need to know about bikers, and I will share some interesting monster facts on bikers. Also, don't miss Aquatic Wetlines Fish Keepers Q&A on Tuesday, October 25th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And Aqua Alex will be on Saturday live with legendary Alex Cardinale this Saturday, October 15th, to talk about another monster fish known as the vulture catfish. Thank you, monster fish hobbyists and fish keepers of all ages, for watching the Monster Fish Special on Gars. I hope you learned a lot about Gars, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did enjoy the episode, please hit the like button and share this video on social media. I will see you for the next episode of Monster Fish Month when I talk about bikers. Enjoy the aquarium hobby. Happy fish keeping, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. I, Aqua Alex, sign off and say have a great night. Happy fish keeping, and take on, fish keepers. It's Crazy Tiger Alex Cardinale, and I am hosting the Halloween 2022 Bash. I'm inviting all you scary ghosts, goblins, and monsters, to be a part of the Halloween 2022 Bash hosted by me, Crazy Tiger Alex Cardinale. On the Halloween Bash this year, there will be appearances from Chef Alex and Aqua Alex Cardinale. What cooking recipes will Chef Alex give out? What monster fish will Aqua Alex talk about on the Halloween Bash? There will also be Halloween discussion and scary stories with Crazy Tiger Alex Cardinale. Crazy Tiger Alex Cardinale will also discuss his favorite cat, tigers, and tiger attacks on humans. So it's going to be a fun Halloween bash this year, filled with Halloween stories and a lot of Halloween fun. The Halloween 2022 bash airs live Halloween night, Monday, October 31st, 2022, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, only on my YouTube channel, The Legendary Alex Cardinale. Happy Halloween, everybody, and I will see you Halloween night, Crazy Tiger Alex Cardinale. It's going to be great.